Hey everybody, Sean Holsinger here from HolsingersFlyShop.com. Bringing you a cool little pattern today. This is a flymph variation, half nymph, half wet fly. And I would fish it on my nymph leader as my dropper. It would just have you like an emerger style pattern, or swing it as a wet fly. It's definitely going to crush the fish as a wet fly. I really like putting a lot of flash in my wet flies like this. It's a great attractor. I usually fish, when I fish swing a tandem wet fly rig, I usually fish an attractor fly on top and the whatever's hatching on the bottom. So if the blue winged olives are coming off, I have a blue winged olive on the bottom. If the March Browns are coming off, March Brown on the point, and some kind of attractor fly on top. And this would make a great attractor fly. So let's get into it. Let's not waste a lot of time talking here, and get into this really cool looking pattern. I'm sure you're gonna like it. It's very close to my partridge and flash, just tied on a different hook and a little bit different way of tying it. So here you go, the flashy flymph. Alright guys, here you see the fly in the vise. Let's get into tying it. Pretty easy fly, and very good looking fly too. So let's put our hook in the vise. For a hook, I am using a Daiichi 1260 in a size 16. Just a little bit longer, 2x long on this, and a nice round curve to it too. So I don't know, I like things with more of a bend in it than straight. I think it just is more natural. And I want to start this, I started that out wrong here. I want to start this up closer to the head because I want a thin body on here. So we're going to wrap that about a third of the way back. Then I'm going to take a piece of crystal flash, and that was 140 denier wood duck thread. Then I'm going to take a piece of chartreuse crystal flash and wrap it in right there. And I don't want to run my thread back. I want this all to be crystal flash. I want just crystal flash on the hook to keep a nice thin body, and this will just pop real nice and have some nice flash to it. So we're just going to wind this back, touching wraps, back to the bend. I'm sorry about my hand keep passing in front of the camera there, but it's a little easier to control it wrapping it by hand rather than with the rotary, at least for the video. And then I'm going to double it back over, so it'll be double thickness, but there'll be no thread underneath it, so it's going to keep it thin. And then we're just going to wrap it up here close to the eye and wrap it off. 2 or 3 good wraps there and you're good. Okay, now back to about the 1/3 point where we're at there. Make sure that's tight so it don't come unwound. Okay, you see nice thin body. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bodkin and I'm just going to split this thread. And I want to do a dubbing loop with split thread. So there you see I split my thread in half. I'm just going to take a very little bit of red squirrel nymph thorax from SLF Pattern Blends. And I'm going to stick it in that split thread, and I'm going to center it. Get it centered as best I can there. And I'm going to stick my finger right behind it, get my thread up close, and give it a good twist on the bobbin. And that's going to lock that in, give me a nice tight dubbing loop. Push it up there. And it's going to give me a real buggy dubbing brush here. Just those fibers sticking out, and it's going to make like a little bit of a false hackle. So we're just going to wrap that on towards the head, peeling them fibers back to get them going backwards, flowing with the body. And then once we get up to the head, we're going to put our hackle on. For the hackle, I'm just using some brown Brahma hen. You can use it off the soft chickapoo or whatever. Just a nice Brahma feather here. And I'm going to peel the ends back, and I want to get to about the right length where I want my length of hackle. I'm going to peel the feathers back, and then I'm going to cut this off to give me a good tie-in point. So there I got something to tie down with. I'm going to tie it down with the underside of the fly touching the hook. Back up to my eye. And then get my hackle pliers, and we're just going to palmer that forward. So this is a pretty simple fly. If you're new to wet flies, it's going to take a little bit of practice, but you know, if you're an old wet fly guy like I am, you can hammer these out. And I don't want a lot of wraps. I only want about two good healthy wraps on there. And we're just going to tie that off. Oops. Get this off of here. And I'm going to take my fingers, pull all those fibers back, and make a nice clean head on here. And that is all that is to this flashy flimp, which is a tongue twister. So keep a nice clean head here, don't get too big with it. I like to make like 2-3 wrap finishes on whip finishes on here. And then I'm using this wood duck thread. The reason I use it, I like a brown head, and when you hit this with a little bit of bone dry, it turns the color I like. It turns that nice brown natural color, like a light brown, not dark. So there we go. Hit that with some bone dry and our light, and we are finished. And you can see the UV qualities of that Flashabou, and you just got a really nice looking flashy flimp. Okay guys, hope you liked that pattern. Like I said, very similar to one of my most productive wet flies, which is the Partridge and Flash. And this is just a little twist on it, giving you a different color. And this color works great on any kind of wet fly. So give it a try. You're going to catch fish with this fly. I can guarantee you that one. And just attractor flies like this are great in the springtime, early spring, when the hatchers are coming off. They go crazy for this kind of stuff. So give it a try. If you need any of the materials to tie it, guys, like always, I start putting a link down in the description. So just scroll down here on the YouTube page, and at the bottom of the description, there's a material list with everything you need to tie this, and links to take it to our website so you can purchase the material. So I hope you like me doing that for you. Keep commenting. I try to reply to your comments. It may take me a day or two, but I try to get around to them. And I have a lot of fun bringing them to you, so I hope you enjoy watching. Until next week when I bring you another fly, I'm Sean Holsinger.